know, forgot more than I'll ever know, right? But there's also a lot of men out there that are also cleverer than me, forgot more than I know. However, for a woman, physically, they're smaller usually. They're weaker. Their bone density is smaller. So okay. So they want higher role jobs. Okay, why don't they start welding? I'm sure there are very few welders out there or jobs that take on heavy lifting. They want to leave them to the man's job. Why do they want to leave them to the man's job? Well, if you're the same, you get out there, you carry it. You understand where I'm coming from, and that's just the way that I see it. I'm not saying that women are. I'm not saying we're above women because we're not. But our role as men, our leaders, we make the decisions. You know, we're stronger in physically and I believe in many cases mentally. You know, a woman's touch to things can be extremely good, but sometimes women could. I don't know how to explain this without coming across very sexist, and I'm not sexist, not one bit, because I've got a mum and I've got a sister and I love them very dearly. However, I wouldn't put them in a job role that they couldn't take. My sister is the director of Wildcrest Parks. My dad didn't pass on my dad didn't pass on the business to me. My dad's left to Monaco. My sister is now the director of my dad's multi-billion-pound company. However, it's just I think it's the physical side of things that I don't really get my head round. You know, there's women clever and are more than capable of having CEO or director or chairman or whatever it may be. You know, like I say, there's some very extremely good entrepreneurial women out there, and a credit to them. But like I say, the physical side of jobs. Yeah, but listen, I've seen a million podcasts come out and say, like, if you was in no discredit to any fire women out there, but if you was a big lad or you was a small lad and you was stuck in a fire, who would you want to come and rescue you? Would you want a small petite woman or would you want a big muscly man?
It's true.
I mean, this is just how I see it.
We had a music artist here last week as well. I don't know if you know Frenzo Harami, but he came down and he makes a lot of music and he's actually a pimp. Like he thinks, he said that's his profession. He look after these women, etc. And he was just like, look, women are not the same as men. Like, I've got in trouble with the police many of times. There was this one time there was two women police officers. I just ran straight through them and past them. Like, if it was two grown men, I had no chance. So in terms of certain jobs, I can agree with you. Talking about physical, what's your diet like? Because you look like in really good shape.
Well, I'm an athlete. I love sports and I love keeping myself fit, and I like playing golf. I was a professional boxer. I had my first fight in 2017 and I had another one in 2021. I had a knee injury, and to be honest with you, again, work, business, in my eyes, at the time it wasn't more important, but looking from it from a sensible point of view, I believed that I could make more money being an entrepreneur than I could a professional boxer. I love the sport, grew up boxing. However, do I believe I was good enough at the time? Yes, I did believe I was good enough, because if I didn't, I wouldn't get involved in anything. If I don't believe I can do something, and not only do I believe that I can do it, I believe I'm going to be the best. And it's the old saying, reach for the stars. If you don't reach and you hit the ceiling, you've done all right, and at least you're getting somewhere.
So is that one of your hobbies?
Not anymore. Golf I play.
Golf.
Very good networking.
Okay. So
I'm not very good though.
So what, you meet good people on the golf course?
Yeah, you do. You meet a lot of people. You play with different people, and you spend 4 hours with somebody you've never spoke to in your life. Sometimes you get a bad hand in the drawer, and you get put up with some asshole. But that happens.
Wow. Okay. Did you need training for the golf?
Of course. You have to work very, very, very hard. Very difficult and very hard sport. I go for a lesson every now and again, but again, it's all for nothing too serious. All pleasure.
Yeah. I've tried to play top golf and it's bloody hard.
It's
That
hard
little
game.
thing just
It's
to
hard.
have that swing
It's
tight.
hard. It's hard.
Tell us more about the boxing side.
In what sense? What do you want to know?
A little bit more about, what boxing has taught you.
That teaches you an awful lot. What that taught me, first and foremost, is discipline. taught me discipline, and that also helps the entrepreneur. Discipline, knowing what you can have, knowing what you can't have, knowing what you can spend money on, knowing what you can't spend money on, knowing what you can do, and knowing what time you got to go to bed. All these things are what make a good entrepreneur. The same as what would make a good athlete, make a good entrepreneur. A good diet would make a good entrepreneur. A good sleeping pattern, a good routine would make a good entrepreneur. All these things help, I believe.
Definitely. Where do you see yourself in the next 10 years? What would you have liked to have accomplished?
You know, I've been asked this question an awful lot before on podcasts, and I actually find it a very difficult question to answer, because there's genuinely no limits where I'd like to be in 10 years, and I don't see any limits. I don't see any boundaries why I can get to. If I don't get to, so as it stands at the moment, I'm number 75 on the Sunday Times under 30s rich list. When you get to with 10 million, um, when you get to 30, I think it becomes 300 or 750 million. So I suppose I'd like to get to 750 million before I'm 30. So then I can end up in the big boys Sunday Times
Mhm.
rich list.
Tell me the relationship with your father.
Yeah, it's good. It's very, or if we're not talking about work or talking about earning money, we don't, it's not really much of a conversation. Or if it starts off not about that, like if it starts off not about work or money or what's going on with the businesses, uh, there's not much of a conversation at all, really. But however, we enjoy it. We both like it. We have
Hmm.
many debates. Um, but yeah, well, it's a very good relationship. I love him very, 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 very much. I'm sure he loves me very much. I'm sure he's very proud of me. I'm very proud of him. He's done very, 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 very well. I wish he would listen to me some more. It's the tables are turning now. I try to explain this to him. I've listened to you for the first half of my life. I'm young, I'm fresher. You listen to me. I'll tell you.
Do you know what? Like, I want to go a little bit deeper into this, Alfie, because I've got a good relationship with my father, and
Mm-hmm.
he's got his property portfolio. I've got my property portfolio. If I'm talking about property or on something I'm looking at or buying, his ears goes up, he lights up,
Mm-hmm.
he's ready to talk.
Mm-hmm.
But it was even like on Father's Day, I take him out for a meal and just want to just have a normal, like, you right, Dad? Yeah, good. It's just be like short, sharp. My mum, different character, you know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Sean, what's happening? This, that, other. Oh, that looks nice. Dad is just very old school, you know. If it's about business, we'll talk. A couple of little things, but I don't really have that sort of relationship where
Mm-hmm.
my dad, like, sometimes we would go to the pub together or in a friend circle, he'll switch it up. He'll change it. Like, that's my boy. Yeah, we're cool. When it's just me and him alone, it's like silent in that room, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And it can be a bit like knife edge sometimes. And it's just like, why can't we just like be a bit friendly and just friends and just chill out, man? Like, I'm I'm a lot older now, you know, you're
Mm-hmm.
getting older. Like,
Yeah,
why can't we just switch off? Like,
that's right.
do you ever feel like that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you know what? You've explained it extremely good. Me and my dad, there's, as much as I just said that I loved him, there's no lovey-dovey relationship. Everything's very straight and blunt, straight to the point. No messing around. You know what I'm saying? And from what you've just
Mhm.
said, that's pretty much the same as your dad. There's no joking and fooling around.
Yeah.
It's serious. You want to talk serious, we talk. If you want to joke,
Mhm.
it's very minimal. If
Mhm.
you want to have a laugh and a joke, do you know what I mean? After the laugh finishes, straight back to business.
Can you hug your dad?
Yeah, yeah, we do, but it's very rarely. Usually, when there's been some sort of achievement or accomplishment, down to business.
Mhm. S- And talk to overall of your life.
Hmm.
You know, loads of things happen. You know, you come through dead ends, challenges,
Hmm. Hmm.
etc.
Hmm.
Do you remember your first house?
Where I lived or
Your
what I bought.
first, yeah, your first ever memory of the first place you were
Hmm.
lived.
I was in a caravan.
Okay, so all right, cool. So you're walking. So I want to take you back in time.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, you know, I suppose it's in some sort of park. Is
Hmm.
it? Where was the caravan?
Attached to the back of a truck or.
Okay, you're walking down. You know what everything's looking like. You can see the same trees, same cars, same environment, and you're walking. And as you're walking, you come to the caravan. Yeah. So as you come to this caravan, I don't know if it's got a lock or not, but if it has, you reach in your pocket and you take the key, and you know exactly what color it is.
Mm-hmm.
And you take this key and you put it in the lock,